Hello everyone, I'm Matrix, but you just call Matrix, and welcome back to another God of War Ragnarok New Game Plus video. Is my mic output correct? It is. I always gotta check that. Alright, well, let us continue with our playthrough. Oh, because I've been enjoying watching me replay this game again, but on New Game Plus, I definitely have. I've been taking time in between each episode to look at the shop, and kind of edit my build a bit. Like now, for a heavy attack, since we got rid of the Steinborn Placard, instead replaced it with Shoulder Guard or Survival, I replaced my heavy runic attack for the axe. Before, it was Mists of Helheim, which this was because one, it was an area of effect attack that's quick, and two, because when I would get hit, I would throw this down and it would hit a bunch of enemies and heal me up really fast. But as we learned, for the amount of time that you have the heal up is not enough after you get hit, and you really don't want to get hit at all. And so instead, I replaced it with Breath of Thamur, which is not fully upgraded. I need more XP because I wasted all my XP on upgrading other skills. But this will be very powerful once we upgrade it all the way. But right now, we're just going to mess around with it a little bit. And right now, we gotta blow that up.
Sounds like you got the water moving along, brother. What next?
That worked. Let's get to the door. Come on.
All right.
Here?
Well, certainly don't think this is where Tyr currently is.
He's got to be here somewhere. This mine is huge.
Atreus, what do you intend to stop Odin from doing? You speak as if you know his plan.
I don't know his plan. That's why we're...
Brother, with Fimbulwinter underway and Ragnarok around the corner, Odin will be desperate. Whatever he's planning to do surely won't be to the benefit of anyone but himself.
Exactly.
Let's pick that up. Jump across. Boom. Nice, nice.
Did you see that over there?
See what? Oh, I think I can hit it on the way back. Hold up, let me... No, I can't. Okay.
There's a broken door up to the left behind the door.
We'll be up there in no time.
All right.
That's it. Come on. Let's take that lift up. Tyr can't be far.
Yeah.
Okay, new exercise. Let's think about how Tyr's probably feeling locked up in this mine. If I were imprisoned by Odin and finally freed, Odin would obviously be at the top of my list. But I would just want to fight something. Anything. Even if it was just to know I still could.
Atreus is sounding more and more like his dad every day. I really hope. So, let's talk about the future God of War, because we all know how this game ends, obviously. If the next game, or whatever next game they're planning, it doesn't have to necessarily... Oh, hold up. Let me focus on this really fast. Whatever they're planning next to make, whether that's an Atreus... Hold up. Whether that's an Atreus game or Kratos, it would probably be one more open world. I can see they're already testing out the open world stuff, but the reason, and I don't know if I've said this on camera before, but the reason they couldn't do as open world as they would, that they probably could have in this game, is because they already set up the realms and stuff and sort of that system in 2018. When they couldn't really do open world, like big open world stuff. Or they could, but they didn't really want to because that's not how they really set up the 9 realms in 2018. And so they tested it out in the individual realms by making them a little bit more open world, like Alfheim with its desert is now very much more open world than it ever was in 2018. Even Muspelheim, by making the challenges sort of like you kind of pick and choose how you want to set them up by doing like 1, 2, and 3 or 1, 4, and 3 together, then you get a different challenge than if you were to do like 2, 4, and 1. Them just testing it out like that and see how people react, and people reacted very good, very fondly. And so if they were to do something like Egyptian mythology or Japanese mythology or anything like that, it would probably be a big open world game like, not as big as something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or anything like that, but, oh man, what open world game can I think of? That's decently small. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. It would probably be something like that. And I think Egypt would work great with that. But here's the thing. Who would be the protagonist? Obviously, they're not going to give up on Kratos. Right now, they kind of just have him hanging out in the Greek... not Greek, in the Norse realm.
Little brother.
And so, maybe they would have one Atreus spin-off game in a smaller mythology that's enough... that's big enough to make up a full game, but just small enough where you can defeat basically all of its main villains, sort of. All of it, not villains, all of its main gods as Atreus' stuff, and not have it feel too rushed. I have no idea how big Japanese... I know Japanese mythology is pretty big, so that probably wouldn't be one game. Egyptian mythology might be good for one big game, but I don't think I would want Atreus being the main one for Egyptian mythology. I would love to see Kratos fight some of those Egyptian gods. But I do think open world standpoint, maybe Atreus would be better. They would both be fine. They would find a way for traveling around that open world fast. But let's just say it's Egyptian mythology with Atreus. Atreus can shapeshift into an animal or anything like that. He can shapeshift into a bird to fly around. For fast travel, maybe he either uses magic or he transforms into some sort of animal, and we get like a quick little cutscene or something that of him like traveling super fast, or maybe like turns to the animal and then instantly, whatever. But obviously, if they want to, I don't know if they'll keep the no-cut camera. Maybe that was just for these 2 games. It works pretty well. But maybe they would change up that system. But that doesn't matter. We're not worried about the camera right now. Honestly, I don't want an Atreus game. I don't mind the Atreus sections in Ragnarok.
Let's keep looking around.
But I think there is way too many. I'm not an Atreus hater. I'm not like, oh, I hate Atreus. I wish he was never around or anything like that. No. No. That's not me. I like Atreus as a companion. I love the companion feature in 2018 in Ragnarok. I think it's amazing. I think them talking, like right now, them talking and solving puzzles together is fine. And then even when you're just walking around the world, them talking to each other, it's always giving you something in your ear to listen to while either you're grinding for something.
Why does that matter? You're strong, and you did the right thing.
Or anything like that.
Measure the strength of a man.
But, yeah, I totally forgot how to solve this puzzle. But it's interesting. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't want an Atreus game. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there trying to think about the puzzle. I don't want an Atreus game because unless they totally rework his combat, such as get rid of his bow. I think how they incorporated the bow and stuff with Atreus when you play as him in Ragnarok was brilliant. It felt God of War-y. It didn't just feel like I was just, you know, shooting a bow in Horizon or whatever. It felt like I was shooting a bow, obviously, but it just felt different. It felt better, and the fact that he does melee combat with his bow as well
We're almost there.
is amazing.
Hey, we did it. I'll meet you at
And
the door.
so that's fine. That was fine for this game and stuff because obviously you don't play as Atreus after that in like the main like in the open world and stuff like that. So it didn't really matter. But
Did you hear that, brother?
I didn't.
don't think we're alone.
Oh, we're not
Ears
alone.
open, eyes up.
But I don't think that with just the bow and stuff. Obviously they would expand it because he would be the main guy in the
Came from over here.
in the
There's a
game.
passage leading out.
So they would obviously expand on that. But I don't want him to have a bow. Even though that's sort of his thing, like, oh, bow, he's a really good archer. I would want him to get rid of his bow. And instead, I remember seeing this piece of artwork, which it was Loki / Atreus, with the horns, like from Marvel's version of Loki and stuff. And he had a Blade of Chaos spear, almost. I can't remember, but like it was double-sided. A double-sided, like, long stick, whatever you call it, forged out of the Blades of Chaos. And it looks so cool. I'm like, if that was Atreus's weapon, if he didn't get a single other weapon, I could just imagine what the combat would look like with that one weapon, and I would never get bored of that. It would look so cool. Like how the Draupnir spear is so cool. The animations, how they did, it's amazing how they did that. Now imagine what they could do with a double-sided spear, sort of bow staff thing. That would be amazing. And if that was Atreus's only weapon and stuff, that would be fine for one game. I would be fine with that. But if Atreus has a bow and that's it in an open world game, or in any game just by himself where it's just him, I don't think it would be. And where he's like the main playable character, I don't think I would like that.
They must be trying to keep something in.
That I would honestly hate that. I know I'm talking a lot about this, but this is just a topic that I feel like will get asked to me again in a live stream or something like that by someone. But here's the thing. I think Kratos will stick around. I think they might have one spin-off game with Atreus, and I don't think it will do as well as Kratos. I don't think so. I think they would just primarily do it for lore and stuff. I think they know it probably won't do as well either. I think they know God of War fans will still get it. But here's the thing. If Atreus isn't full of rage in that game, like Kratos is right now, if he isn't full of rage and grunting and being angry and stuff like that, God of War fans, they just won't recognize it as a God of War game. It just won't feel like a God of War game. And I'm being brutally honest right now. Atreus, he does not feel like, you know, how Kratos as the God of War does in a God of War game. He just doesn't. When you play as him, he doesn't. He gets a little angry in cutscenes, and moody, obviously. But in combat, it just he's loose and stuff. He feels a bit like that, but like he's loose. He moves around a lot. His combat kind of feels a bit too floaty, but it's still it's very grounded. But it just won't feel right if he's not, one, full of rage, two, if he doesn't have any other weapon other than a bow. It just won't feel right. And also having Kratos literally as the face of PlayStation, and obviously the face of God of War, I don't think a game without Kratos will do nearly as well as a game with Kratos. So, verdict, will they have an Atreus-only game? Probably. Will I like it? No. I'll play it. I'll probably platinum it.
Is this Odin?
The only way I would like it is if he looked,
Play with me now.
if he and acted basically
not
like Kratos,
Odin.
but they won't do
We're the
that.
good guys.
I know they won't do that because Atreus is an entirely different character. And then after that, they would probably go to either another trilogy of Kratos in whatever pantheon. And then that will do amazingly well. But they could surprise us. Maybe they'll surprise us. And maybe this Atreus only game will be really well. If they even do one. Maybe they won't even take that risk, which I think if they don't take it, no one's going to complain. I think if they do take it, lots of people are going to complain.
This is the
Obviously, they left Ragnarok like, oh, he has to go help the giants. He has to go find the rest of the giants.
Those blades.
And so there most likely will be an Atreus only game.
I know you.
But will that be in a different pantheon, or
God.
will that be in the Norse pantheon? Even though they said that the Norse saga was over, I don't know, because where else would the giants be? Where else would the rest of the giants be? What pantheon would they have traveled to?
Stay away. Brother, let me try.
So that's just me ranting. How long have I been ranting? For like 10 minutes
Yeah.
about that?
Look,
Yeah. That's just my opinion on it. Put your opinions down below in the comments.
you killed Mimir. No, no.
Yeah, we brought him right back.
Yeah, stay away from me, you monsters.
Stop! We need him!
Wait!
Okay, another thing. Let's go back to the sequel game. Let's talk about Kratos more now. If they were to do another game with Kratos, they would... I don't know, because what? He's all... Oh, I'm peaceful now and stuff like that, or... He's not as violent. They would probably have to revert Kratos back to his old ways a little bit. Maybe... Let's go on a whim here. I think a good way to have a good way of almost sort of resetting Kratos' character arc is killing Atreus. The one thing that's keeping Kratos right now from becoming the rage-filled monster that he is again is Atreus. Because he's like, oh, he would not want me to do that or anything like that. But with Atreus gone, maybe we get a cutscene, maybe we start the game off as Atreus. Maybe we started off and we're like, maybe in all the trailers they show, maybe they pull, like, I don't know, what is it? Did Last of Us Part 2 do the thing where they started off with Joel and then they switched to Ellie? And it was all Ellie, and they showed like only a little bit of Ellie in the trailers, but they showed mostly Joel. And then when it came to the game, you barely played as Joel because he died. Maybe they pull a Last of Us Part 2 on us, and they kill off, but like obviously reverse. They kill off Atreus at the start. Like we play as it for a little bit. We see a lot of Atreus in the trailers, but they just end up killing him. Like maybe 3 to 4 hours into the game, we find out where the giants are and stuff like that. We fight a little bit of, let's say, the Egyptian pantheon. We kill like one god, and then after that, like the main, I haven't researched Egyptian pantheon, but like let's just say the Odin / Zeus, the main god of that pantheon, kills us. He comes out and just straight up kills us. And Kratos, and then like maybe we flash to Kratos or something like that in the Norse pantheon, and he gets wind of that Atreus died, and he hears it, and he's like, "What? Who?" And they're like, "This person." And he's like, "What? I never heard that name." And he's like, "Yeah, it's from the Egyptian pantheon." And obviously Tyr would probably be there because we saved the actual Tyr at the end of this game. And he would be like, yeah, you see these markings? These are Egyptian ruins. I can get you there. And he's like, yes, yes. And maybe then we unlock jump again. This is obviously going out on a whim. We unlock our jump ability again. He changes. He just becomes rageful again. Maybe he leaves behind the Leviathan axe. Maybe he leaves behind the Leviathan axe and only takes his... Maybe he leaves behind the Leviathan and the Draugr Spear and only takes his Blades of Chaos, and we reset. We reset back to basically just our blades. No more axe, No more blades. I mean, no more Drawnry Spear. Just the blades, which then fills up 2 weapon slots. And let's say we stick with a companion. Maybe we have Anger Bola as our companion, and she's also rage filled. Like, I can't believe they killed Atreus and stuff like that. Or maybe we have someone else. Tyr would be a great one. A God of War and a God of War together fighting alongside, and then that's our like sort of our Atreus, which is the down on the D-pad. So then now we have just the Blades of Chaos and 2 weapon slots to be filled with weapons.
Thank you, no.
And then boom, we head to the Egyptian Pantheon. We have like 30 to 40 hours of story. I don't know if it would be that long story. Maybe they would still do 20 more hours on top of the 3 to 4 we played with Atreus before he died. Then we're just Kratos the rest. Then there's a second game. Maybe there's a third game and stuff.
Sometimes.
And then we just have a Kratos from then on. And we learn more about the higher plane of existence with Athena. Maybe Thor's up there, and we learn more about what happened with the mask, what the mask even is. Maybe we learn all about that. Obviously, we still have Mimir with us. We can't get rid of Mimir.
We must return home.
So that's my theory. I know I've been just talking this entire playthrough, even during all the cutscenes, but that's why I have closed captions. I know I normally don't talk during cutscenes, but if you want to really listen to that cutscene without me talking over this obsessively, then watch my original playthrough of the game, which is on my channel, obviously. During this New Game Plus playthrough, I'll probably just be talking about theories and stuff and my opinion of things. So if you actually want to listen to the story, which if you haven't looked at the story or even heard it, or you haven't like seen the ending, why are you watching a New Game Plus playthrough? Obviously, I'm going to be talking about spoilers. But yeah, I'm sorry if you didn't like me talking for that long. I know a lot of people actually like hearing me talk. I know, I'm surprised. Like during a live stream, someone asked for my opinion about. We were actually talking about New Game Plus before it got announced. Or actually before it got announced and released the same day, about Thor's hammer. And I'm surprised this guy was asking me questions and stuff. I'm like, wow, on the live stream, obviously, and he was like, what do you think? Would they add Thor's hammer to New Game Plus? I'm like, and I say my opinion. And he's like, yeah, and he responded, and I was like, wow, it felt pretty good. So I'm gonna be talking more about my theories, maybe not making entirely other videos about them, but if someone wants to clip that and and at me in it, that'd be nice, just to put it out there. My theory. That's my theory. If it happens, we can refer back to this video, which is what, part 4 of our New Game Plus playthrough of God of War Ragnarok. To this moment, I guessed it. That's how I would do the next few games, and I think it would fit in the lore too, and it would be a nice way. Obviously, a lot of people, why would we leave behind the Leviathan axe and the Drawnry Spear? Maybe it's he no longer feels worthy to carry his wife's axe around, and the Drawnry Spear, maybe it reminds him too much of Brock and how much he sacrificed just for him to go back to his old ways. That's my opinion, and all he takes is his Blades of Chaos, even more filled with rage. That's the one weapon he takes to every single pantheon he goes to, and he slays everyone with those blades. That's just my opinion. That would be a great way of circling back around, because they took a risk, and it worked out pretty well with lowering the violence in 2018, but then they upped it a little bit in Ragnarok. But in my opinion, Heimdall should have died in a way more violent way. And Odin should have died. Obviously, it didn't really fit into the story if we like brutally massacred Odin. I think it was a great way how Atreus put him in the little orb and stuff, and that's how that worked out. But I wanted to see Odin brutally ripped to pieces. That's just my opinion. I want to see him. And so it would be a great way of circling back around to rageful Kratos again. Slaying the Egyptian pantheon, or the Japanese pantheon, whatever.
Come. We must leave before more creatures attack.
And who knows, maybe we find the mask destroyed or whatever in the Egyptian pantheon, and that's like one of the big lore points.
But you're the God of War.
I left that behind long ago.
Maybe we finally fiddle with time, because I know that there's a god of time in Egyptian mythology. And so maybe that has us go back in time for Greece for a little bit. Maybe that's like a story mission in the second Egyptian game where you go back to Greece for a little bit
Before we go
and
any
have to
further,
fight a higher quality Zeus or something. I don't know. That's just my opinion on what could happen.
What is it
I
you
do
want
think
from me?
Egyptian's next, though. I know people are like, oh, Batir's stance is like Japanese and stuff,
speak
but
of
Egyptian's too big. They were going to do Egyptian before Norse.
Is the
So
god of war
I
the
think
huge
it's Egyptian.
giant? Is that the tier you need?
Atreus.
So that's enough talking for me.
Forgive me. I am grateful for my freedom,
If you have any questions, please
but if you
put
want
them
me to
down in the
follow
comments
war,
below.
or worse yet, lead you to it, then kill me now. My fight
Stay
is
hydrated, people.
damage is done.
No one's killing you, brother.
Better that than to live to see Ragnarok.
We do not seek war.
We just want some answers.
I don't know how to help you.
It doesn't matter. The Giants trusted you. That's the tier we need. We need you.
All right. All I ask is for a good night's rest. And maybe some food. I think you killed the guards bringing me dinner.
Brother, perhaps now you'd like to finish the story?
The sons of Thor attacked us. We killed them. Baldur tried to kill Freya. I killed him.
But you skipped over how we fought and freed the Valkyries. And that the Giants are all gone. And how they called me Loki. And finding the shrines
Giants are gone.
and when we got to Jotunheim, they were all dead.
Dead. Do you think Odin?
We do not know.
I think we're getting out of here not a moment too soon.
Whoa, what are those?
Reinforcements from Asgard. The Einherjar will want to investigate my disappearance thoroughly.
Are they using the sky to travel between realms?
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
They're coming down on Nidavellir too. Will the dwarves be okay?
The time for such concerns has passed. We must leave. Now.
Go. I like how we fight one enemy, and that's like basically the whole like war of this realm. Like it's just one enemy. I feel like that. So that there must have been like a big battle that got cut to have that much hype just for one enemy. There must have been,
Yggdrasil.
in my opinion. But
It's been too long.
yeah.
I'd forgotten. Beauty.
Tyr, in your travels, did you ever hear the Giants talk about Loki?
I'm sorry. That name doesn't sound familiar. The Giants were very private people.
Makes sense.
Perhaps after a rest. A treehouse.
Lord Tyr, you're really alive.
Am I? I wonder.
Okay.
He's just tired. I promised him some food and a room to rest in.
Ah, of course you did. Well, let's see what we can do. Please, come inside.
We'll be right in. So, can we talk about what to do next?
There is much to consider. We will speak in the morning.
Oh, okay. In the morning.
You hold still. Yep.
Much better.
Thank you.
See? Sleep tight, dear. I'm gonna turn in. Big day tomorrow.
So, Tyr. Sounds like promises were made. Let's see about getting this settled, shall we? If you'll follow me.
Hey! Come see what I got for you. I'm sure we won't be interrupting
Have a
any
seat over
goings
here,
on.
and I'll arrange accommodations. I may need time to construct a bed for someone of your scale.
Oh, I think it's the shield. Yep.
Go to trouble on my account. Too much space would be unsettling. Do you have a broom closet?
Yes, but it's where I keep my brooms.
That's all I need. To be honest, it's all I can manage.
All right. Some food then.
Oh, nothing much. Perhaps some hardtack.
All right.
Any sort of humble ship's biscuit will do. Aye, with a pinch of salt.
I'll see what I can find.
What are you thinking, brother?
I am thinking. I want things to be the way they were.
Well, I'd like to climb a tree again. Certain ships have sailed.
I just wish Atreus were not so restless. I care only for his safety.
I know, brother. But holding him too tight won't keep him out of danger. The lad's determined to make a few mistakes of his own. And I hate to say it, I think Tyr might be one of them. I've never seen a man broken so completely.
His pain is fresh. You expect too much.
Aye, perhaps. Pity Freya still wants to kill you. That's an ally we could use.
That is not an option.
No, I don't suppose it is.
Trouble sleeping.
Ah! Shh! You cannot sneak up on me like that. There's something I have to do in Midgard.
What? Without me? I thought we were partners.
We are, just... wasn't sure you'd want to join me. I'm visiting an old friend.
Oh, I see. Or possibly not doing that, taking into account she's determined to murder you.
I do have to give them this one thing about the Atreus sections, even though I don't like them. I don't hate them. I hate Ironwood. I just don't like the Atreus sections. They did give us a big surprise when they to this one when they introduced it to us. Like we saw the camera like switch over and we're like, oh man, okay, it's gonna switch back. It's not switching back. It's not switching back, guys. See, like right here, I was like, why is it not switching back? And then I moved the joystick, and he moved. I'm like, what? Because this is the first time I played as someone else in a God of War game.
What are you talking about?
And a lot of people hated it. I disliked it.
A very giant friend.
I think they move too slow, in my opinion. I like the ones with Thor. I think those move fast, but Ironwood, hated it. Hated it. It probably, to be honest, would have been better if we didn't fight Angerbola's like grandma or whatever. Because it would have moved faster then. But I guess it did set up like, oh, she could forge her own destiny. But at the same time, that didn't really pay out to anything other than her just saving us at the end. Which they could have just had her save us at the end without having her prove anything. They could have been like, oh, Trace, when you talk to me, like, making my own destiny or whatever, I decided to do that. Now I did that by saving you guys. Instead of, oh, after we destroyed my grandma and stuff. But that's a rant for another day. I will see. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Even though I talked a lot, I'll probably end up clipping that that video of my theory for the next God of War game and make that into a little short video and release it on my channel. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed, because I have, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!